This is Alexis Lawrence, so from DataMaven and Major Domo Support Specialist. I was like, what's your title? Major, I'm like, that's the best title of the group. So
awesome.
There you go.
2 weeks ago, so. So how many of you kind of relate to this picture here? Anybody? The people who are not raising their hands are not busy enough. So, okay. So I think a lot of us, we feel like we have a lot of things coming at us from all directions, and we're always just trying to keep everything in the air and trying to keep track of what we're trying to get done. And so what if you could use Domo to manage your projects from idea to delivery, clear your chaos, and when you're jumping from thing to thing, be able to do it a lot more quickly. And also, spur of the moment, have all of the relevant information at your fingertips. And so my goal today is to, well, in the next 5 minutes, is to, six and a half minutes, is to enable all of you to leave and do something a little bit differently today that will make your lives at work a little bit easier. Oh, and they're also not in order.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not my fault.
So I gave him the edit twice, So we'll go back to that one because that will be the summary. That's okay. So thing number one, so managing your projects. I think one piece of Domo that can be a little bit underutilized is the thing that really, to me, differentiates Domo from every other tool out there from a BI BI tool standpoint, and it's part of what makes Domo a platform instead of a BI tool, is that you're able to actually type in this tool. It's so flexible with the amount of information that you can put in. So you can create a project page, and using the notebook cards, you can have all of your relevant links to that project. Yes, you can save them as favorites, but if you have cross-functional or large volumes of projects, that gets really unwieldy fast. So when you're setting things up, you can have all of your relevant links there. You can have notes of what you need to do, future wish lists. So when you're having meetings, you've got your immediate things that you need to do, you've got longer term things you need to do, and then you're having conversations and people are coming up with ideas. You don't want that scope creep. So it's really nice and easy to say, hey, let's add that to the wish list. And so that keeps some of that scope creep at bay. And then you can have some metrics that you're working on with the person. So this is all work in progress while you're working on the project. It doesn't end up going as an end product, but it really helps you with your collaboration. And then also, as you're building your data flows and data processes and cleansing checking what your input files are doing, you can create hash totals and have commentary and questions so that you can do a card based on the actual source data against what your output is and find some nice rolled up summaries. And then also, as you're working on your project, if a change is made and now things aren't in balance, you're gonna see that the next time you open up your project page. And so this really becomes your hub for your project. And when you're having meetings on your project, you don't have to go into anything else. You just open up your meeting line, open this up, share your screen, and everybody's on the same page. Actually, there's one more thing this can do. This can reduce your emails. And this can also reduce going back to your email and searching for everything under the sun. Because instead of your partners sending you random one-sentence emails asking you things, and it's one more, you know that an email takes half an hour no matter what you do, from opening it, figuring out what to do, et cetera. Instead, your partners can just update that little tile right there and maybe highlight in a color, ask you a question, and then when you get to the point where you're wanting to work on that project, you can get in there and see those questions and answer them. So that way you're not chasing around emails. You can also stop building PowerPoint presentations. I was really happy to hear about this in this session yesterday morning, that other people were trying to latch onto this. I haven't built a PowerPoint presentation until this one in probably a year and a half. I get asked for PowerPoint presentations, and I say no. And so if it's my meeting, right? If it's somebody else's meeting, then I say, feel free to download my cards. Or I'll open up a PowerPoint, link the card, whatever. I'll just say, make my PowerPoint Domo, and then I'll send them that. And then they can do whatever they want with it. But I refuse to build PowerPoints. I will open this up. You can go into slideshow view. Any of you that were at the New York City User Group Conference, my entire presentation did not touch PowerPoint once. So you can do it. The hours and hours and hours that you spend building PowerPoint presentations and fighting with formatting is completely unnecessary if you have Domo. So another thing that you can do is use it for your own desk planning. So when you're coming up with your performance objectives and you're needing to track against them, you can have, I had a page that was for myself and sub-pages for performance objectives, tracking progress, to-do list. To-do list can be on your overview page. I had an idea section. So whenever you come up with ideas, you're working on your performance objectives, you use those notebook cards, and then you also can create KPIs for yourself, for your self-tracking, so that just everything's in Domo. So you're not chasing around the Word documents and the endless file structures. It's all there. So you sit down to work, you open up Domo, and you don't have to leave Domo. You go to your email, back to the knowledge in the beginning with the projects. You can also use it as a knowledge base, so your own knowledge base for your own business. So you have cards for each maybe topic. When you go out and you ask a question about of your partners, and you get that answer in email, don't leave it in email, because you're going to have to spend an hour looking for it later if you ever care to know it again. So instead, you can just build up your knowledge base within Domo. So whatever topic you're going to, you just click on it and it's right at your fingertips. In addition, and I have to go back for we'll go collect our summary, yes? So I made this little grid just as a quick reference, and it hopefully can serve as a reminder. You're centralizing your knowledge to create a truly collaborative environment, have all of your communication and information on your project pages. Anyone at any level that's working on that project that you've shared that page to can tune in anytime. So if your boss wants to know what's on your to-do list for that project, they click on it. They don't have to ask you. You stop building the PowerPoints, and everything builds naturally. So as you're building your project, and somebody wants a change, or somebody wants to see something filtered a different way, whatever it is, you can do that right there on the fly. It's all up to date in real time if you're not using PowerPoint. And then it's also your workspace. So it's a blank canvas, and if it can't find its place in Domo, then you have to question whether it belongs in your hands on your desk at all. So delete that email if it doesn't go somewhere, if it doesn't have a home. And then when you're sitting with your boss and they ask you that completely off-topic question about a status on a project you haven't looked at in 3 weeks, you click on a button and you have an answer. So I'm going to go fast forward through those. So you've got this. You can completely centralize your entire workspace, your work life, right in Domo, and have everything at your fingertips that you need, and stop toiling at PowerPoint presentations. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Alexis.